Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Dugout podcast, episode 108, after another entertaining weekend of Scottish football, drama, goals, unexpected results, or you could say expected results. And yeah, I'm here to go through it all with my usual co-host, Mr. Alexander Cruikshanks. Alex, how are you?
Rubbish. I hate football. I want to go home. Oh wait,
Yeah,
I am home. No, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here and talk about Rangers losing again. Um, Derek McWinless. Oh, dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
yeah. We'll actually, when we get to the Rangers game at the end of the show or later on, we've got two Rangers games or two Rangers defeats to talk about. Obviously, we've got the European games to catch up on as well as we'll go through throughout the clubs we get through. But obviously, first of all, we had to cover the two games on the Saturday involving the teams that didn't have European football, and we'll start at Dens Park. What a result for Dundee. I think we caught a lot of the game or a lot of the highlights as well, and an excellent performance from Stephen Presley's side. Thoroughly deserving winners. It was Joe Bevan was the star of the show, really. An excellent cross for the first goal, and then an excellent finish for the second goal.
Could have had a lot more goals as well. If he had his shooting boots on, he was excellent. He was the danger man. The entire game. Dundee were really really good. They were on top of Aberdeen. Aberdeen looked um They just didn't look like this sounds weird to say, but they just didn't look on Dundee's level, footballing wise and sort of physically. Dundee looked faster, fitter. Their press was really, really good. They were just all over the Dons, and Aberdeen didn't threaten at all. Lewis Mayo didn't look particularly good. I think they struggled against sort of that intense Dundee sort of front line. Um, And yeah, Joe Bevan, yeah, star of the show, mate. He was unreal. I think he was one we said looked quite good against Celtic last week. And he's stepped up and I I think you said in the one of the chats or something, Ethan, you went, where does this guy come from? Because I remember him being all right last campaign, but I don't remember him being like this. He's looked absolutely incredible, and I didn't realise as well. I think he's actually Scottish, so um, possibly one for the future. Future's looking bright. Got maybe him coming through, Robbie Ewer going out to Sevilla. So yeah, one to keep an eye on definitely. Yeah, Dundee were amazing and they deserved the win. And I'm looking at the performances so far, just in terms of what Celtic ended up doing to Kilmarnock. And then the way Dundee performed against them and the way they've performed this week. Maybe, I know it's still very early, but maybe you could say Presley could be on for a top six push this season.
Yeah, you could tell from Monday's performance against Celtic that despite obviously losing the game, and I think based off the balance of play, they probably deserved to lose it, but they seemed like an excellently coached team and they all knew what their jobs were and obviously narrowly defeated by the one goal margin. And you thought that they could maybe do something against the likes of Aberdeen, who, despite getting the 3 points on the opening game of the season, didn't look too great against Hearts. Dundee, that's their third straight win over the Dons in the league, which is a record for them. They also claimed their fourth straight home win on the bounce in the top flight for the first time since 1999. And Stephen Presley said after the game, "It's the proudest I've been since coming to the club." So I think he was really impressed with the performance of his players, and no wonder they were absolutely excellent. Yeah, and for Joe Bevan, like I said, and like you pointed out that I said that it just he sort of comes out of nowhere because he obviously was at Dundee last season, but I think he only played a handful of games, maybe five, and the only thing I really remember from him was I think an error he made against I want to say it was Hearts, which led to a Jambo's goal, and that was the only thing I remembered from his opening season. And obviously for the people that watched the predictions episode, I tipped Charlie Riley to have the sort of breakout season, but I think I've probably picked the wrong winger. Obviously, we're only 2 games in, and Charlie Riley involved in the Joe Bevan goal as well. His cross deflected, but no, the 22-year-old Scotsman on the right hand side looks like the more deadly of the two at the minute. He's just got such electric pace and really caused Aberdeen all sorts of problems. Led the match.
I think if he could add just a little bit more end product, which sounds silly after he scored a great goal and got a great assist. But if he could add, just be more consistent with his end product, check like this sounds like I'm getting carried away. But if you can keep the form up, get more consistent with end product, genuinely, he's a player. He's one of the ones. There's the players that you see, and this sounds really disrespectful, but you might look at a player and go, "Oh, he's good," but he's good for Dundee, if you know what I mean. Joe
Yeah, no, I get
Bevan
what
is
you're saying.
one
Yeah,
who I think could if he keeps this up, he could ascend to the next level. Maybe get a move to the English Championship, sort of upper tier, or we've seen a lot of young Scots touring around Europe in recent years, which does seem to be working. So maybe a move abroad for him in the future. Obviously, I'm getting a little bit carried away because it's only been 2 games, but it's been a good start so far for him.
yeah, and then what a sort of career he's already had, I believe, and not too long ago, a few seasons ago now, he was in the eighth and ninth tiers of Scottish football, and then he does so well at Albion Rovers to get that really, well, excellent move to Burnley, and of course it didn't quite work out there, but he's came to Dundee, and now in his second season, he's really he's grabbing the opportunity with 2 hands, it seems. But no, he was excellent, and I completely agree with you. And obviously, it's an area that the national team are crying out for, the wide areas. So, there's
Yeah.
certainly an opportunity there for him. But yeah, no, an excellent goal, an excellent ball as well for Joe Wesley's goal, which was a really nice finish. Both former Burnley teammates, actually, which I just thought of when the goal went in, linking up there.
I
Uh,
think Dundee must have some sort of relationship with Burnley because they keep getting players off of them.
yeah, yeah, I think so. I don't know if maybe it's from Presley's time working in England because obviously he was at Brentford.
Well,
But
they got them before though as well. A couple seasons ago, did they not? A few
yeah.
loan players from Burnley, Vetro and
Oh yeah, I
um,
think there is actually, now that you speak about it, I think there is a sort of ownership connection, I believe, somewhere in the pipeline. I'm pretty sure. I can't really remember the direct sort of correlation between the two clubs, but there definitely is something.
they've certainly worked out a lot better than the Mexicans.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was last season they had what was his name in midfield? Um, I
Was
can't
it
remember.
Garza?
Yeah, Gaza. Yeah, that's the one. And they had the
And
central
then
defender as well, didn't they?
Portales.
Yeah. But no,
And they had a couple that barely even got a sniff as well.
yeah, yeah, no, they did. But no, Stephen Presley. What can you say about him? He just keeps proving everyone wrong, and it's only 2 games into the season, but they are looking excellent. For Aberdeen, on the other hand, I've got to say, really concerned about Aberdeen because I know they got the 3 points on the opening day, but it was a poor performance and it was poor again, apart from maybe the last 15, 20 minutes where they're pushing for a goal to get back into the game and they had a few chances. I think Owen Goodman made a really good save, but they never really looked too much like
Good man.
scoring. And yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done for Stephen Robinson and this group of players. I don't believe he knows what his strongest 11 is. There's a lot of substitutions having to be made during the match, and I think that all the teams do that. But in terms of it, feels like Stephen Robinson doesn't know what his strongest 11 is, and that's never a good thing. And obviously, they need to turn it around, and
He's
that's
got a lot in common with a former Aberdeen manager.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking that when I said that, and we'll obviously get on to Derek McInnes. But it obviously starts next week for Robinson. Got to turn it around. at Pittodrie in the League Cup against Dundee. And I mean, the Dark Blues will have so much confidence going to Aberdeen. Obviously, 3 wins against them on the bounce, and after a performance like this, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be brimming with confidence because they were by far and away the better team. I would say, um, one of the most conclusive sort of performances I've seen from this Dundee side
Yeah,
in terms of how much better they were than their opponents.
yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's everything from this match. We'll move on to the other game on Saturday, the Battle of the
Thank God I chose to watch the Dundee game. Oh,
Yes, not a great game, but St Mirren did go to the top of the league for the meantime, picking up maximum points from their opening 2 games, of course, and being the only team in the league to not concede in the process. St Johnstone back down to earth, you could say, after that incredible game at McDermott Park last weekend.
I think
Um,
we've just learned Kilmarnock can't defend to save their lives.
Yes, I think that is something we've obviously learned over these opening 2 games, and something we can speak about in depth when we get to that game. But yeah, the Buddies unbeaten. I was checking in 11 of the last 12 meetings, league meetings, sorry, between these two sides, and Paisley, the only one they didn't, or the only one they were defeated in by St Johnstone was actually the last one in 2024. But St Johnstone obviously start the game with the well, not start the game because in the first half there wasn't really any chances at all. I think Sammy Ramos had a deflected header that hit the bar, but St Johnstone get the first big chance of the game in the opening stages of the second half through the penalty. Alex Gogic gave it away. It was a bit unfortunate. I think he has his arm on the St Johnstone attacker, and the ball just hits off his arm. I can see why it's been given. And then the sort of assist hero of match day one, Jamie Gullen, steps up, but I thought he sort of telegraphed his penalty really and made it pretty obvious as to where he was going. But all credit to Jacob Chapman for a big save down to his bottom left corner to keep it scoreless. And then when one goalkeeper became
He's a good chap.
oh, oh no, it's the goalie funds today. Uh,
Yeah.
speaking of goalies, when one had made themselves hero status, the other one had became the villain when Samuel Ramos beat St John's keeper Toby Stewart to a loose ball. I don't think there was any option really, but
Aren't they
Rob
supposed
Vardy
to be in
won
the
the spot.
stands? Aren't the
What?
stewards supposed to be in the
No,
stands?
no. That is horrendous. Apologies to the viewers or listeners. They just keep getting worse here. These
No,
puns.
come on, that was gold.
No. But yeah, it was poor from the young goalkeeper, but it was poor defending from St Johnstone, and all the ball shouldn't really have been loose in that area. And they didn't look like there was much contact in it, but not enough to overturn the decision. And then ice cool Killian steps up, short run up. I think it was 2 steps or 3 steps, and then sends the goalie the wrong way. It's a third Premiership goal of the season already. And yeah, I think he's made an excellent start to this campaign. And we obviously said it last week, and going to sound like a broken record saying it again, but if they were to lose him, he will be a massive, massive miss to Craig McLeish's side.
Yeah, he would be. He's the talisman. I think especially as well with so much squad turnover this summer, he seems like he's been really important as well. An influence on a lot of because a lot of St Mirren's signings have been younger guys. So a good influence on them. Obviously, he's been in their position, in these leagues. So been there, done that. Now he's um now he's the leader on the pitch. And yeah, good penalty from him. He's made a good start. And if they can hold on to him, he could be in for quite a good season. Confidence can carry you a long way. and he's got the talent to back up his confidence.
Yeah, and I think it's an excellent start for St Mirren to the season. I don't think they would have expected.
Yeah, unfortunately, oh
Yeah, Alex, do you want to inform the viewers about your little rivalry you've got with a St Mirren fan?
yeah, our good mate Robbie Collins or Robbie Rance, as you may know him. Oh, my focus is gone. This is great.
So it's all right. It's all right. Just continue. It'll come back.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. But my good mate, Robbie Collins, Robbie Rance, he's on the Scottish Football Zone. Does a good show called Matchday Memories. But he's a rat, and he's yeah. We've just started a little. I've got because I predicted St Mirren to be relegated, um, and I've got a bit of a rivalry going with him at the moment, and it's not going well for me, obviously, because Rangers are crap. And St Mirren are flying. So yeah, but I think tides will turn when we hammer them this Sunday. Hopefully,
Oh, big claim, big claim. But no,
if St Mirren beat us, I actually might retire from just being online. I'll shut down the TikTok. I will never talk to Robbie again. I'll go out and live on a farm or something with no internet.
yeah, that might be a good idea. But no, it's been an excellent start for St Mirren and Craig McLeish. But I think it has been against no getting away from it. You would say I know St Johnstone won their opening game against Kilmarnock, but two sides that I predicted to finish in the two bottom positions in Falkirk and St Johnstone. So there's still work to be done, of course. And if they were to go and put in a really good performance at Ibrox and maybe get a result there, then I think that would certainly bring more confidence. But there's been good recruitment. The big players are stepping up that were already there, and Kelly and Phillips especially. For St Johnstone, they would have wanted to take something from this game, but 3 points after two games isn't the worst. And I think we've still got a lot
Oh,
more to learn about
I'd
these.
take that. Jeez.
Yeah, you would. Um, but no, there isn't too much more to be said on this match. It wasn't a great game of football, and I think it was a case of both teams were presented one big chance for the penalty. St Mirren took theirs, and St Johnstone never, and sometimes that's the fine margins of football. So yeah, all credit to Craig McLeish for the start that the buddies have had. But I think there'll be tougher challenges down the line for them, and that'll
Yeah, buddy.
on Sunday, you would expect, but as we'll get on to, maybe not as tough a challenge as we all expected at the start of this season. Okay, moving on to the Sunday's games, and we will start with. I don't actually know why this game was on a Sunday, bit of a strange one, because none of these teams were playing in Europe. Of course, Celtic will be in Europe soon, but in the Champions League on Wednesday
Maybe
night.
you do with the EFL Cup fixtures or something on the
Yeah,
TV.
probably. Probably, as you're probably right. TV always dictates these kind of things, but five-star Celtic performance and one of their best domestic showings, I would say, in a while. To see off Neil McCann's defensively naive Kelly, I have down here. A lot of storylines away from the actual game. Obviously, we had the new pitch for the first time at Rugby
Listen,
Park.
by a humping.
No, I think it looked good. The game flowed a lot better on it, as you would expect, because the artificial pitch at Rugby Park before was terrible. You get some decent sort of artificial surfaces, but that was certainly not one of them. Of course, Celtic were without their manager Martin O'Neill because he under undergone a minor surgery in hospital during the week, so wasn't on the touchline, but did give the boys a message, or not a message, gave them words of encouragement in the morning, is what they said before the game. And obviously, it worked with Sean Maloney on the touchline.
Yeah, it did. Worked quite well. Just one question though. Who scored for Celtic?
Yes, he did. He scored three times, and yeah, I think what you could say is silenced any doubters. I don't think either of us were ready to doubt him yet after the opening
Oh,
game.
I'm pretty sure I said he was getting in the right positions and he'll score goals.
Yeah, I think we both said that. But there was obviously some people that felt that he could have maybe been a flop, and just because he scored a hat trick in one game doesn't guarantee that he won't be. But I think I
I
think
look better this way, don't I?
Uh, no, not quite. I like to actually see your face rather than the out of focus. But no, yeah, 35 minutes was all it took for him to find the back of the net three times, the fastest Celtic hat trick since 1988, when Frank McAvenny and Mark McGee both had three by the 28th minute and an 8-0 victory over Hamilton. That was Scotland's coefficient, that scene
What were
uploaded.
they doing?
I don't know
What
what
were
was
the
going
Yankees players doing? Just opening the door for and chauffeuring them to the goal, carrying it there themselves and just laying it off.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on in that game. But another stat, which when I looked at the stats on FootMob after the game, that I looked up to see if was correct, that Celtic registered the most XG and or expected goals in a Premiership match since the stat was widely recorded, going as far back as 1819. Narrowly beating out the 9-0 victory over Dundee United at Tannadice under Ange Postecoglou, and of course Kyogo and Liam Mata scored.
2018, 19.
Yeah, what did I say? 18-19.
Yeah, just no, I was just I knew that's what you meant, but I was just
Perfect.
like,
Oh, just clarified. No, no, of course.
yeah, because I'm like,
But
I didn't have XG back in the 1800s. What?
well, they didn't even have Celtic back in 1819, but no, I got what you meant. I should have clarified. But anyway, yeah, Celtic were excellent. One of the best performances I think from them in a while, and I thought back to front Celtic were just really solid, and I think showed their quality. I will say I think Kilmarnock did play into their hands quite a lot. Neil McCann, the way they were set up to press, it just didn't work. And sometimes you can say it's a free hit going up against Celtic, but I don't think it's doing the moral of Kilmarnock, the players, not the moral, sorry, the yeah,
Wow.
the morale. Yeah, that's what I meant, not the moral, the morale. That's the word I was looking for. Doing them any good, and it was you spoke about it already before we even got to the match. The defensive confidence of them, they just looked so naive at the back, and they didn't know how to deal with
I
Celtic.
don't
And
know
you'd seen it
how
together.
I don't know how Big Casper's managed to get two free headers at different posts. Like,
Yeah,
what is going on there, man, with the marking? Great from him, terrific play from him. But I don't know how he's managed to do that. By
yeah,
the way, that celebration's gonna. Um, I saw somebody tweet if he does that celebration at Ibrox, I'm jumping off the club deck or something like that. No, but what? It's just a bit funny, isn't it? But that celebration's gonna annoy a few people, I think. But he's up and running. Good goals from him, but yeah, the defense was tragic. I mean, Kilmarnock probably should have scored and equalised, but the result might have ended up the same. Because if they had equalised, you really think they would have like held on to it?
yeah. No, exactly that, and that was the point I was going to make. That I think, despite having that little period after Celtic opened the scoring in the first minute, or second minute, should I say, just outside the first minute, which was a awfully defended goal from a Kilmarnock point of view, but well played from Celtic. Arne Engels, who was excellent, and rumours suggest that at West Ham have possibly cooled their interest on him, which I think is maybe,
Yeah, I don't think they're coming back with another bid for him. I
yeah,
don't think they want to pay Celtic's valuation,
yeah, which I
which I
think,
mean is fine because he's good, so Celtic won't mind holding on to him.
Yeah, and it's just the contrast because after the first game, I thought he was really poor, and I maybe said it as much as if Celtic can get 25 million for him, then you would take it. But on these kind of performances, when he plays at his best, he is an excellent player, and at his age, he's still got a lot of room to develop. It was a good ball from him, and yeah, an easy header for Kasper Høgh at the back
Who?
post. Yeah, okay. And then Kilmarnock had a
Yeah,
few chances. It was a really open game, an excellent watch, I would say. And I don't know how Kilmarnock didn't find an
yeah,
equaliser.
but they were done by their kamikaze football. I don't know how many times Chris Sutton said that.
Yeah, he does love a kamikaze, Chris Sutton. It is a great word in fairness, but yeah, the defending was awful, and yeah, the second one was one of the least, could you say, poorly defended goals. Benjamin Negrin involved. I thought he had an excellent
Well,
game.
wasn't that the one where Yefeko just gave it away?
Oh yeah, it was. It was actually. You're right.
So don't think there's any defence for this defence.
No,
Tragic.
yeah.
I
Benjamin.
thought up until that point, Yefeko had been all right as well. He was eating up everything, and then he just goes and does that.
Yeah. No, I thought he was. Yeah, and I think that as soon as the second goal goes in, you know the game's done. It's completely away from Kilmarnock, and Benjamin Negrin, I thought, is in these opening two games has been a lot more involved in the overall play than what he usually is, and I think that may be down to Kasper Høgh.
Who?
I think he offers a
Gonna
better.
do that every time.
No, don't. I think he offers a better sort of dynamic alongside him, and I think you're seeing Negrin more as a 10 than a sort of third central midfielder, and I think it unleashes his potential a lot better. I would say.
Yeah, plus they've got that Scandinavian bro thing going on.
Yeah, Scandinavian connection. I think you've seen already, and the post-match interviews, of course. Kasper, who handed the award to Nygren the other night, and the Swede returned the favour
I
yesterday.
was going to say Casper who handed the award to him on Sunday, and I'm going, oh, Negrin must have played a blinder. My word.
No, but he was
No,
good, and so was Camille Duran as well on the right hand side. Didn't get any goals,
Duran.
but did set up the third. And again, as you said, I don't know how Kasper Hugh is at the back post.
Who?
At the back post, unmarked. It's excellent movement from him. He just waits for the ball to land on his head after Max Striek and Jamie Brandon can't reach it, and he has
My
a
word, Max Striek. You thought your Feckles pass was bad? Oh,
yeah. Not the best start to the second half for Kelly. Max Striek, I don't know who he was even trying to pass the ball to. Tries to play it out straight to Benjamin Negrin, and it's an absolute gift for his second goal of the season already. And then Kilmarnock did pull one back. Michael Shawning Larson with a nice finish, a well worked goal from Kilmarnock, and probably a goal they deserved based on how many chances they created in the game. But as I said, Celtic created so many opportunities, 33 shots, 16 on target, 5.64 expected goals in the end. And Luke McCowan came off the bench with 15 minutes to go to score with his very first touch from a corner. It wasn't directly from a corner, but it did fall to him, and he put it in for an excellent scoreline, excellent performance, excellent result for Celtic, and I think that'll give the supporters a lot more confidence going into this season, and especially those big Champions League qualifiers, which are only just over a week away now.
do you know what Ian Crocker should have said when Casper Høgh scored his hat trick? Three of the best. He's made them pay. Remember from FIFA?
Yes, I do. I do remember from FIFA.
That's what he should have said when he scored his hat trick.
I
No,
thought there was going to be a Who pun there, but there wasn't.
Doctor Who.
You
Got
can't
his
just say the
PhD.
word Who.
No, he's got his PhD in scoring goals.
Yeah, he certainly has, and I think there could be records broken this season. We thought he was going to be good,
Whereas we're just getting legs broken on our strikers.
yeah, we thought he was
That
going
was
to be good.
that was in poor taste. I really hope Yusuf Chermiti's okay.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I think we knew he was going to be good. Celtic's record signing, but I think that performance really will strike fear into the
See,
rest of the
see,
division.
see if you get Hassan and he's good, like consistently. Genuinely, that front three would terrify me. Because
Yeah,
I was amazed how easy it was for Camille Duran to sort of boast in. It might have been because Kelly there was so much space for him, but the way he could move in and out on that left foot, and he got a couple of shots off. He just looked easy for him. Kasper Høgh's movement's really good. I think Yang's better off the right hand side. Unfortunately, I think to get Duran in, he's been sort of moved out wide, which is unfortunate. Out on that left side instead. Um, one of his, I think he was one of the weaker performers for Celtic, unfortunately. Although I don't think you can say anyone was bad in a
yeah,
5-1 win, but he was one of the weaker players on the pitch that day. But yeah, if Hassan comes in, and he's good, he hits the ground running. Genuinely terrifying, terrifying.
yeah. And you've got the potential of Jota, obviously, returning now. He
Oh,
was with the body. He did have the
I'm just gonna retire. I'm, I'm away.
he did obviously. He's left for the audio listeners. Alex has left. He's had enough. Oh, he's back. But no, Jota back with the ball in training. I don't know how long. That means he'll be away from a return. Obviously, you don't know what to expect from him, but it's certainly exciting nonetheless. And you imagine Celtic are going to bring in a few more players also. So really exciting times for Celtic, and now with the league situation already, the fans' attention will already be being turned to European football and the Champions League, and how much can they really have a go at it this season under a manager who's certainly got experience of taking this club far in European competition. Moving on to the rest of Sunday's games and the teams featuring in Europe, we'll start with the biggest contrast in sight, or the team that's had the biggest contrast in league and Scottish football, probably, and that is, of course, Heart of Midlothian. We'll just get out of the way the result in Europa League qualifying on Thursday night because we did expect it. I don't think there was too many surprises. They came up against an excellent side in Benfica and Lisbon, and it finished Benfica 6, Hearts 1. Just quality side, of course, usually in the Champions League, but as third place finishers in Portugal last season, Marco Silva's side looking to qualify for Europa League. Rafa Silva, Thomas Araujo, Evangelos Pavlidis, Gianluca Prestiani, and John Duran and Andre Shelderup, who both come off the bench.
Duran.
Yeah, another Duran. So yeah, I
Any
think
relation?
I don't believe so. But yeah, just shows the quality. Tom Renault with the only goal for the Jambos. But as we said, I don't think you could have expected too much from Wouter Rankin's side going over to the Stadium of Light, as it's known as, Alex.
Is it Stadium of Light?
Yeah, the Stadium of Light as well, the same as obviously
Sunderland?
Sutherland Stadium.
Um, no, you couldn't expect much. Maybe try not to get battered, although I did predict 7-1, so I was pretty damn close. Um, with the only prediction I've been close on. Oh. But yeah,
Some of your
yeah,
player predictions have been all right so far.
thanks for giving me credit, trying to make me feel better, Ethan.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. But he's yeah, no, Hearts have been poor in Europe. They've conceded a lot of goals. Turned it around really well though against Dundee United. which possibly has just led me to the conclusion that Rangers might be the worst team in Scotland. But um, yeah, really, really good performance from Hearts against Dundee United. Tom Renault obviously grabbing the goal in Lisbon with an absolute belter here against Dundee United. They just blew them away, and I think the Hearts media guy put it perfectly. The start of the Wouter Franken era. Um, Hopefully they can kick on and make this a looks like it could be another interesting season. It's either going to be competitive again or Celtic are going to run away with it because they do look quite good. But or St Mirren, maybe St Mirren will be up there. I'd hate that so much. But yeah, they've. I've lost my point again. Yeah, good win for Hearts. Got a few much needed points on the fantasy for me as well because my word, I've had a stinker of a weekend.
Yeah.
But
Well,
eh?
I was going to say my weekend wasn't too bad, apart from the fact I never had the guy who scored the hat trick, but apart from that, it was okay. But no, yeah, a big result for Hearts because they needed that because I think people were saying that the teams that they've come up against, Sturm Graz, Benfica, arguably Champions League quality sides, and no. There's not too much shame in losing to them. Of course, you would like to keep the margin of scoreline down, and that could have been better from a Hearts point of view. And even when they went to Pittodrie and lost, I think that game was a bit of an anomaly because I think they were the better side. And barring the lapse of concentration in the final minutes where they conceded the two goals, I think they probably win that match most times. But against a Dundee United team, which, albeit against Rangers, we did see look very very decent in the opening game and probably should have won that match. And Hearts blew them away with ease in this game. As you said, excellent strike from Tom Renault from range, goal of the season contender already in the 4th minute. Then the 12th minute, Calvin Miller gets his first goal as a jambo from the penalty spot. I think he was playing quite far back, Calvin Miller, possibly like a left back, left wing back, which was interesting. But he stepped up for the penalty and converted it well. Probably was a penalty. It was from a corner. I think I can't remember what Dundee United player it was who dragged a Hearts player to the ground, not looking at the ball at all. We'll get to a similar incident like that later on. And then in the second half, Claudio Braga got off the mark for the season. Nice finish from him. And then he set up another Scotsman in the Hearts side to get a goal on the day. Josh McPake, who's made a real sort of comeback story in the Hearts squad, you would say, because I think we spoke about a few weeks ago that he didn't look in the picture at all. Got a little few minutes off the bench against Benfica and Lisbon the other night, and then started this game, and it's an absolutely excellent finish from him to also get off the mark for the Tynecastle side. So yeah, all round just an excellent afternoon for Hearts, and I'll get a lot of pressure off out of ranking. I'll get the players not only bought into what he's trying to do with a result like that, but also the supporters.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I think although Graham, um, well, was Hearts enthusiast on TikTok has since deactivated his account due to idiots. But he said I think he was making the point it was harsh to say there was any pressure on him, but I think there was pressure on him coming from the supporters. Like you lose like that to Aberdeen, you're getting absolutely battered in Europe. It's not fun watching your team when they're losing. So I can speak from experience. But yeah, I think there was pressure, and this is a big sort of. I think you could call it a talismanic win for him. And it's he's shown what his team can do. and now there's something for the Hearts fans to hold on to, and because I think that's important, you need to see a glimpse of something because Rangers haven't seen a glimpse of anything. So, yeah, but you need to see a glimpse of something for the fans to hold on to. And this is a big win, good performance, gets the pressure off. Um, Now they can move on. They've got Conference League in a couple of weeks, don't they?
Yeah, we've
They've obviously,
obviously got Benfica first on Thursday.
yeah. Well,
A free hit now that game is certainly.
yeah. So maybe give some other players an opportunity to play in that game. Um, Excuse me. uh, Yawning mid podcast, but yeah, they've got Benfica, and then they've got the cup, and then they'll be in Conference League, uh, uh, unless they somehow complete a miracle comeback. But yeah, I think it is really really good for Hearts. I'm looking forward to what they can do to see what they can do next. And just I'm so pleased for Josh McPake as well. Because it was maybe starting to look like Ethan, like you said, he wasn't in the picture. Maybe his move was a mistake, but he's played really well and certainly put himself in the manager's thoughts.
Yeah, and I think it will be really interesting to see what team he fields on Thursday, because you imagine Marco Silva possibly going to field a little bit of a rotated side as well for Benfica, and he's used a lot of players out of ranking. There's not really been too many players who have started every game. He's got a big squad there, and he's using the squad to try and work out what players work and what players don't. So it's a bit still of a experimental period
May
until
have
he.
struck gold.
Yeah,
May have
yeah, maybe
struck
struck
gold.
gold. Yeah, on the weekend.
Unlike someone else, a certain former Hearts manager.
um, yeah, and for Dundee United, that poor result. Tension.
As well, just on going back to Kilmarnock, they can't defend, just like a certain former Kilmarnock manager's team.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to go into this game. But no, Dundee United not great. Poor result for them. And then obviously they'll have to recollect themselves after this game because they've got a difficult task next Saturday evening when they host Celtic in the League Cup. So, yeah, I think Dundee United will be okay. I think they've still got a good squad there and a good group of players. I think they just came up against a team like Celtic against Kilmarnock, who just struck gold on the day, as you said, and we're just at the races and on that next level, which obviously based on last season, and you would think based off this performance, maybe over the rest of the season that we will expect to see from Hearts. Okay, moving on to the penultimate game of the weekend, another one that's not really got too much to shout about. A nothing each draw for part between Motherwell and Falkirk. But of course, before we get on to that, Motherwell were in European action, also in the Conference League, and get a really really positive result in Finland against Helsinki.
Yeah, they did. Good result for them. Although don't know if you saw the celebrations either. I think it was a little bit of an overreaction when they went 1-0 up. There was almost a full scale pitch invasion. But no good result for Motherwell flying the flag in Europe, which can't be said for another team. But how many times have I referenced how bad Rangers are? But yeah, no, well done to Motherwell. Really good result for them. Um, and then obviously a 0-0 draw against Falkirk. Probably not ideal. I think we were touting Motherwell to potentially smash Falkirk, but it's not worked out that way. I think it's just showing as well the results this weekend, Ethan, that the league, because it's so early, it's still so unpredictable. And that's the exciting thing. Uh, but yeah, fair play to Motherwell. Good result out in Finland. Great result to bring back to Fir Park. To be honest, I'd probably rather be going to that game than where I'm going on Thursday, but no, but good performance from them, and then obviously keeping a clean sheet is always good. Obviously, they were the clean sheet kings last season for quite a while, and I've got Alex Paulson in my fantasy team, so I don't mind a wee clean sheet. But yeah, fair play to Motherwell. Just on Falkirk though, quickly. I think a point's quite good for them. I'd after that St Mirren performance, I had Falkirk down as doomed. Genuinely, I thought they were so bad, but they've turned it around a little bit here and managed to get a point.
Yeah, and they made quite a few changes. John McGlynn, I think, looking at the starting lineup, it looks like he's changed almost, if not over half of the starting 11. And Motherwell obviously would have had to do probably something similar with the European game in the second leg in mind. As you said, an excellent result out there in Finland against a decent European calibre side. Tawad Damaswanise converts the penalty, still contributing to the Steelmen despite. And until the end of the window, you'd imagine there will be question marks over his future. And then, of course, former Celtic and Norwich City striker Timo Pukki got the equaliser off the bench. And then, as you said, at the weekend, not the best result for Motherwell, but a clean sheet and a point is always contributing towards something. And for Falkirk going away to Fir Park, I think John McGlynn will be happy with that. But as we said, not really too much going on in the game. So we'll move on to the final game of the weekend, or the final two games of
I'll
the
do
weekend.
it for today's episode of the Dugout Podcast.
No, not quite, not quite. Do we want to start on Thursday night when Rangers went to Poland and faced Jagiellonia Bialystok, in which the home side won 2-1 after Rangers took the lead?
I don't know what you're talking about. Was there a game last Thursday?
Yeah, there was.
Just unreal, man, how bad we are. Unreal. Um, you just fall into the trap every season. You think it's going to get better. Never bloody does. I'm just doomed to support a crap football team. Um, they're they were really bad. They started quite brightly. Obviously, they got the opening goal. Here's a fun fact for you as well. Open goal is Rangers' top scorer. Not open goal, own
On goal,
goal,
on
not
goal.
open goal. Own goal. Imagine open goal. Come, Big Si Ferry getting subbed on. No, own goal is Rangers' top scorer this season, um, which is embarrassing. Um, Rangers look so vulnerable defensively. The midfield is like nowhere. Cali Devlin's rubbish, by the way.
He's
Don't
not.
get all the hype. I'll get all the hype. He's garbage.
He's not.
You can't play in. You can't play in like a really ball dominant side. I don't think.
Well, you can say that, but you can't say he's garbage because he was arguably one of the players of the season last year.
Well, he's not this season. This season he's crap. So is Shankland. Um, they're all rubbish. The defence is rubbish. We're so vulnerable on the counter. I think I'm correct in saying every goal Rangers have conceded from open play this season has been a counter attack. Uh, so the goals Rangers conceded against Białystok and Poland were awful. That one that was meant to be like a cross, Fernandez actually steers it on target, um, which leaves Pandur stranded. Then Pandur pulls off a ridiculous close range save that I don't think he has any right to make, really. Um, and then Rangers defenders standing there like statues. Ross McCrory looked like Bambi on ice. I'll get to the right back situation, by the way. I've got a bit of a rant about about the Hibs game. But yeah, just tragic on Thursday, Ethan. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the chance to watch the game, but I caught the highlights and obviously got a lot of sort of how it went. And no, what I heard was that Rangers were very poor, and of course the defending for the two goals especially. Of course, they took the lead through that own goal. I don't really know what Yusuf Chamati's trying to do when he sort of misses the ball, and he gets obviously fortunate that it's in off the defender, and then the two goals that they conceded is just bad as each other, really. And Ivor Pandur must be pulling his hair out with the defending that's going on in front of him because he's not really getting a chance. As you said, you're expecting the attacking.
He looks all right, by the way.
Yeah,
Pandur, I like he's really brave. He plays really far off his line. He's not afraid to come out. He's really comfortable with the ball at his feet. Um, so yeah, he looks all right, but he's not been given much of a chance with those stooges in front of him.
yeah, and obviously it was Kajitan Schmidt, I think, possibly how you say his name, who got both the goals, but I don't know if it was him who should have blasted it in before Pandur saved the one before.
Did they award the first one to him?
Yeah, well,
Didn't look like it was going. It didn't look like it was going on
or maybe,
target
maybe
before
maybe they did.
Fernandez's big stupid toe got in the way.
It says on here on Footmob that they did, but possibly not. But the second one was certainly has after some a more comical defending from Emmanuel Fernandez. But anyway, let's not lull over this too much. We can give our predictions for all the European ties at the end. But moving on to the game at the weekend, yesterday's game at Ibrox, it finished Rangers 1, Hibernian 2, Hibs very much smash and grab performance. Although credit to them, I thought they defended really well for large spells in the game.
Some
Uh,
some some really good sort of putting your body on the line defending from Hibs. Some cracking defending in there. I'll give them their credit before I start ripping into how bad Rangers were. But yeah, no, some good some cracking defending from them. Um, some really nice quick play. I think it feeds into Rangers' vulnerability on the counter attack though. That they'd get the ball out from a defensive situation and they'd get it forward in like one or two passes a lot of the time. A lot of the time it was long, low balls, splitting the defence open and cause Rangers a lot of issues. It was a good game plan from Hibs.
yeah, and just going through the goals quickly before we get into some of the big talking points.
Right, oh, the
Yeah.
um,
There
this
was
is this is not this is not what I'm about to say does not excuse the Rangers' performance in any way, but this was some tragic refereeing.
yeah, I think it's a poor decision. I think we'll just talk about it now. Obviously, the first big flashpoint of the game comes in the 12th minute when Hibs are awarded a penalty. It was a VAR check quite a while after the situation actually happened. I think there was a lot probably in the stadium and people watching on the telly, including myself, who didn't know what was actually being checked, which is one of the downsides of VAR, as we always speak about. And I think it was Don Robertson, wasn't it? Yeah, Don
By the
Robertson.
way, one of the worst refereeing performances I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, okay. But he was sent to the monitor to have a second look at a coming together, I would say, in the box between Vanya Dragojevic and it was Kerr, I believe. I think Kerr was the only one appealing for it. Jason Kerr, the Hibs central defender, and you could say Dragojevic isn't really aware of where the ball is. He's not looking at the ball. He's got his arms on the Hibs defender, but I think it's really, really soft. And I think that should not be a penalty, in my opinion. I can see why some
Guys
people
are
maybe
just
think
as bad as each other.
no, I'd agree with that as well. I don't think.
Kerr's got his hands on his face.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that not like if we're going to be nitpicky about rules and stuff and contact, is that not violent conduct? Grabbing someone's face. You know what I mean? If we're going to like feed into it like that and go, so two players toss jostling for the ball, wee bit of RJ Bargy, don't mind it, right? But if you're going to be given that, and you want to be, when you want to get into the wee intricate things and be really a stickler for the rules. You know what I mean, Ethan? If you want to pick at everything, you need to pick at everything.
Yeah, no, I think they probably set a dangerous precedent for the rest of the game because I think there was penalties that Rangers were wanting, which on any other occasion I would have said no, not a penalty at all. But when you're given that as a penalty, it's I don't know. I just think it's really soft. You have these sort of contacts in the box all the time. It's not, I would say, the same as the one in the Hearts game where the Dundee United defender completely loses his man and the Hearts attackers got the run on him. It wasn't that scenario. It was,
I think the telling fact is, Ethan, that nobody, even you who was watching it, could actually tell what it was for until you saw the replays.
yeah,
Sure, I was in the ground messaging you going, what was that for? Nobody had a clue.
yeah, no, it was a poor decision, I would say, and one that they just didn't need to get involved with, and one that they got wrong. And obviously,
Who's on the who's on the VAR? They'll go, all right, Don, you need to have a look at this, mate.
I don't
Like
know.
genuinely,
But no, a poor
it's,
decision.
it's, it's another start to another great start to the season for the referees, and they've done away with the VAR review because every time they were doing it, they were just highlighting all the wrong decisions because they're rubbish, and they don't want to highlight their incompetency any longer.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, that's my referee rant done. I won't be blaming the ref for anything else because
Yeah,
Rangers were terrible.
yeah, but no, credit to Josh Campbell. He steps up and sends Ivor Pando the wrong way to give Hibs the lead at that point, and you always thought that it was going to be difficult for Rangers to get back into the game, and it obviously proved to be.
Yeah, no, it was. It was tough. There was a few opportunities. Um, uh, Two Romans had a really good volley effort saved by Salinger. Dragicevic wasn't far away either with a volley as well. Um, but
Yusuf
it was
Chermati
it
had
was
one cleared off the line before they
yeah.
came off and with that injury, which we obviously
I mean,
referenced.
if you look at the overall, I think Rangers actually did have quite a lot of opportunities,
Yeah.
but they still weren't good. And it's um, before I sort of, I think two players for me get pass mark, maybe Pander as well because I don't think you can blame him for anything that's happened. But two players,
I've seen a few people being a little bit critical for him on the winning goal, but I don't know. I think you're being harsh. I think you're looking for a scapegoat in a situation where Rangers defended it awfully and threw too many bodies forward before we
yeah. No,
we
I
all
don't think you can blame him. I mean, I think maybe at the time I thought he was a bit slow to get there, but you can't blame him for that. The only two outfield players that I'd give pass marks for would be Daisuke Yokota, who I thought was quite good, and I would probably off Awefe Makanya as well. I thought he was good. The two new signings, believe it or not, who haven't been infected yet. um, no, but yeah, they were quite good. I've spoken about Dragicevic a couple of times, but I thought that was a really strange personnel decision from Derek McInnes when you have two actual right backs on the bench. Um, two, two, two right backs on the bench, and he was he was playing at right back. And then what was even stranger, I think, is he subbed Dragicevic at half time and brought on Diamandi, and then moved Finlay Curtis to right back. And I thought Curtis actually looked all right when, sort of interchanging with Daisuke Yokota, but I thought it was a weird decision. And then he brings on McCrory later. And now Diamandi's away, it looks like, to Korum in Turkey, along with Alexandros Kiziridis from Hearts. Korum are raiding the SPFL, but Yeah, and then that defending for that last goal. Rangers have committed bodies forward trying to win the game. Hibs break with sixes and sevens. Um, yeah, it's just depressing, Ethan. Just they're really bad,
Yeah,
really bad.
and I agree with you. The decision to start Dragicevic at right back was a strange one, moving Finlay Curtis there also, and I think Curtis was okay. I think he is that type of character as we've known him to be, that he'll just do a shift for the team and wherever the manager needs him to play. But it sending a bit of a weird and probably not the right message, I would say, to Dujon Stirling and Ross McCrory who are there and have been. Obviously, McCrory's been signed to be a backup, you'd imagine, to do John Sterling, but Sterling didn't start this game. I know not had the best performances in the games he played previously, but neither have most of his teammates. I think the subs definitely helped. I thought Jerry Gassama made a real impact off the bench and looked most likely for Rangers to create something if they were going to get an equaliser, and I think the equaliser did come from his attack down the left. Obviously, it deflects in off Miguel Chaiwa, who I think had an excellent game out with that. But and then Hibs obviously get the winning goal, as you said, on the counter attack, and it was all credit to, and when I referenced to you your predictions of players from the predictions video, Owen Eldon does absolutely brilliant for the goal because he's got the ball in the middle of the pitch, maybe sort of halfway into Hibs's half, and at that stage in the game, with the way it was going and Rangers pressing for a winner, it probably would have been easy for him just to hoof the ball clear, but he composes himself
You know what?
out
Do you
wide,
know
and
what I thought
Hibs get the
was
goal because of
interesting
it.
is yeah. Do you know what I thought was interesting as well, Ethan? It was when Owen Eldon came on. Um, he came on in the. By the way, I don't think that was Eldon that took the ball forward either.
No,
I think it was
it was Eldon that no, Eldon brought the ball down. He brought the ball. No, it was he didn't bring the ball forward, but he could have. He had the ball in the sort of halfway in the Hibs half, and he could have cleared it and just sort of relieved the pressure off of Hibs in the final minutes. But he chose to try and pick out a teammate, and ultimately, I think that's how the
all
goal
right.
came
Okay,
about.
so but I thought it was interesting is because Hibs brought off Adam Mayer in the 89th and brought on Owen Eldon. And I went to my dad and I went, they're going for it. David Gray thinks he can win. And they did. So credit to him, credit to Hibs. Uh, good win for them. And Rangers sort of woes continue. And hopefully they can turn it around. We didn't even talk about it as well. Hibs obviously won on Thursday night against
Nice that.
Scandinavia.
Yeah, no, that was a good result for them at home, and obviously there's still a lot of work to be done in North Macedonia, but a good result, and I think that even greater emphasises how much of an achievement this is for David Gray and his team to win at Ibrox with a rotated side. No getting away from that. It's not starting players like Owen Eldon, Nathan Lowe. Yeah, Nathan Lowe is who got credited with the assist for the Callum Wright goal. Felix Pashlack, who it does poor for the Rangers goal, but obviously a starter as well. So yeah, no, an excellent achievement for David Gray and Hibs. The first time they've actually ever won in three consecutive seasons at Ibrox, and yeah, what a game for him because as we always seem to say with David Gray and Hibs, there always seems to be a little bit of pressure on him or a small part or sometimes a larger part of Hibs fans that aren't too pleased with his work at Hibs, but results like that and results like the other night are why he's still the Hibs manager and why there could be a big season ahead for Hibs because they have got a really strong squad as we've recognised. It's just whether they can put it together on a consistent basis. And I think what would be my last point? I was going to make a point on Rangers. Yeah, Lawrence Shankland, you spoke about him, but I think when you look at And obviously, we're always going to make the comparison to Celtic. They look like um, they're playing to find Kasper Høgh and to maximise his opportunities. I don't know if Rangers are doing the same for Lawrence Shankland. I don't.
No,
Obviously,
they
you've
don't
got
have the players to do that, I don't think, which is why they need wingers.
yeah,
I mean, Yokota's a good start, but I think we need at least two more. Looks like we're going to get Kuhai Driue from PSV, paying a fee of £7 million for him, which is big money. But in the context of Scottish football, if anyone's managed to stumble across this who doesn't care about anything, doesn't care about Scottish football, have not heard of it before, or have not paid any attention to it. In the context of our league, 7 million is a lot of money. So he needs the service. I thought it was quite interesting actually. I thought he looked better playing off of Nadiri than he did Chermiti. Because like Chermiti and Shankland, there's not a lot of pace in that front line. Nadiri's a bit quicker. He's not rapid, he's a bit quicker, and he's a pressing machine, Ryan Nadiri as well. So that sort of takes that burden off of Shankland. He can drop deep and do what he wants, and he knows he's got Nadiri up there to play off of. So maybe that could actually, because Nadiri's going to have to play now. Because I think this is going to, no news has come out on it yet. Long term scan, not a long term scan, a scan has been done. But it looks like this is going to be a long term injury for Yusuf Chermiti, unfortunately. So Nadiri's going to need to play now, so we'll see how that goes. But aye, are we doing predictions for the European games before we
yeah,
finish up?
yeah. We'll quickly run through them. We'll just start with Hibs. I think I'm going to back them to get the job done in North Macedonia. I think two massive results back to back. I think they've got a great squad there. I think, and I've got to also apologise to, to Josh Mulligan based on what I said in the last episode because he picked up man of the match. So yeah, all credit to him. And I think they will have enough to maybe even win over there in North Macedonia. But I'll go with a draw. I'll say one each, and they progress 3-2 in aggregate to the playoff round, where they will face. Oh, I can't remember who it is. Hibs are up against. Let me see. I'll check while you give your prediction.
I'm going to back Hibs as well. They've had some good performances recently. Good performance on Sunday there, obviously. So I'm going to go one further than you, and I'm going to back them to get the win. I'm going to go 1-0 for Hibs.
Yeah, and they will face IFK Göteborg of Sweden or Ghent of Belgium in the next round. So probably
Draw that.
probably a step up in quality, but maybe not the toughest draw when we compare it to some of the others. Not this one though. As in Rangers' next draw if they are to get through this Europa League qualifier. And I'll start with you, Alex. Do you think that McInnes' side will turn round their form and do enough to progress?
No,
No.
no.
That's when you know. When you're not backing them to get the result. That's when you know it's bad.
I'm going to say one each.
One each. Um,
Reverse psychology, yeah.
I want to say that Rangers will have enough to go through because I think, as we know, the Scottish coefficient is in desperate need, but it is difficult. It is really difficult. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Rangers, but the Poles to go through on penalties. There you go. So
Okay.
yeah. And then next,
Motherwell.
yeah, we'll go to the Steelmen, who are obviously at home to Helsinki, and I think they will win on the night. And I'm going to go with football by a 2-goal margin. I think they'll win 2-0. Will be an excellent performance, a real statement result for them. Before they obviously go up against the Europa League finalists Freiburg in the next round if they were to go through.
I'm going to go 2-2 and the Well to go through on pens.
Yes, we'll take that. And then
3
3-hit, as we said, for Hearts. Can they take anything from
6-0 to Hearts. Generational comeback. No, I'm going to go 3-1 to Benfica.
I was thinking the same. I think Benfica will win, but I think it'll be a very tame match. I don't think there'll be too much riding on that from either side. There'll be a lot of fringe players rotated into the starting lineups, I think. But yeah, interesting to see how the 4 clubs get on before, of course, Celtic added to the mix, and hopefully it's 5 when next week comes. But that's been all for this week on the Dugout podcast. Thank you very much for listening. If you're on the Spotify, thank you very much for watching. If you're on the YouTube, go and check out Alex's work on the TikTok. Thank you and goodbye.